Falling short. Issues of Uncle J. Hey Roger, how you doing? I greeted, hugging a former colleague from Benthel Primary School, a slim, bald, middle-aged Caribbean man. Hey Joe, what are you doing here? I managed the youth center across the road. Really? Wow. How's Benthel? After you left, all the enrichment programs disappeared. That's disgusting. That's the way it goes. It's one thing to sabotage the good work I set up there. It's another to replace it with absolutely nothing. Tell me about it. The desire for people to go out of the way to destroy a good thing will always be beyond my understanding. Episode 18. Calling. While reading books and watching movies, I noticed callings were often presented as a dramatic and fantastic phenomenon. And in a sense, a calling is dramatic and fantastical. But a lot of the time, not in the way I've often seen it depicted in the realm of fiction or showbiz, where a calling involves someone becoming a hero or a leader, or achieving what many would describe as a once-in-a-lifetime feat. Truth be told, everyone who lives and has ever lived has a calling. Now, whether everyone embraces or properly utilizes their calling is another matter, but everyone has one. Whether it's to be a parent, teacher, entertainer, scientist, or whatever, a calling for every person exists. And exists for one purpose and one purpose alone, to honor God. This is why the Bible encourages us to do everything like we are doing it unto our Heavenly Father. I am called to encourage, inspire, teach, and generally pastor people in a way that will put them onto a path of positivity, which leads onto a path of walking with God. My calling is why I'm drawn to the performing arts, because my calling sees me sprinkling in a bit of flair with whatever I do, be it on stage, during a sparring match, teaching a lesson, or just a simple one-to-one conversation. Signs of my calling have been apparent from a very early age, which is why the devil did all he can to isolate me from the world around me. My path even saw me pastor to mentors like Rotimi and Sandra Chin. As I got older and became more aware and deliberate about executing my calling, it was almost as if the world around me wanted people to believe that they needed permission to carry out their calling, be it in form of recognition in the eyes of man, or a monetary return one can boast about, or literally waiting for the go-ahead to be given from a fellow human being. This, of course, is a deception from the pits of hell. A deception that can be found in notions like before one can class themselves as an actor, they have to be in Hollywood productions. Or before one can be a writer, they have to be a best-selling author. Or before one can be classed as a musician, they have to be a platinum-selling artist. Or before one can be deemed as anything, they have to be recognized by a large number of people. The truth is, you do not need permission from any man to execute your calling. The same way a bird doesn't need permission to fly. Above revelation has allowed me to be more effective with regards to executing my calling and gives me the freedom to be who I'm meant to be, wherever I find myself, be it in the presence of thousands of people or just one person that society has labeled insignificant. My Anime Life, Episode 18. Hannibal, the current king of a world which has surpassed its past technological prowess, along with atrocities man has subjected both his race and environment to, sits in a conference room surrounded by 15 heavily armed and trained bodyguards, half of which were some of Serpentard's finest. The conference was on the top door of a heavily secure building, in the middle of a heavily guarded barracks. "He's in the area, sir," said a guard in his ear via an earpiece. Words that instantly reminded the king that no amount of security will keep him safe or hidden. Then, in the blink of an eye, all his men were knocked unconscious with Jay seated seemingly calm beside him. "Before you kill me, there's something you should know," said Hannibal. Not having time to effectively hide his fear, in the blink of an eye, the king found himself held up against a wall by Jay, who seemed very calm. "Your friend died, but neither you nor my man hurt her. Aren't you curious as to what that is?" said Hannibal, now able to compose himself. In the blink of an eye, Hannibal was thrown back on his seat while Jay stood behind him. "My man successfully put an imprint on your friend, which linked her life to his own. I hoped you would realize this after you roughed him up a bit, but I didn't take into account he might not survive your initial attack. I guess that's how things go with the matter of the heart," explained Hannibal. In a blink of an eye, Hannibal was violently kicked against a wall and then held there by the now provoked warrior's right foot. "I've put the same imprint on me and linked that to everyone that took part in the census, which includes women and children. You can kill me, but doing so will murder thousands," informed the king, just about managing to use a small remote control to turn on a three-dimensional illustration of his explanation, creating a situation where Jay could only seethe in his anger, while the mandate of showing mercy continuously haunted him. This hero act is nothing more than you being in denial. I didn't seize power because I wanted to be king. I was happy as Oyo's general. By seizing power, coming down on the serpent doves, and endorsing slavery was all to destroy you, the man that killed my daughter. Once I found out about the power you possess, I had to be creative. Truth be told, you losing your love was simply an unplanned icing on the cake, added Oye. His words instantly disarmed Jay, who in turn dropped to his knees. Falling Short complete series can be found on JOMAJ Studios' YouTube channel. Falling Short is also available in paperback book format or on Kindle. To get your copy, email jomajstudios@gmail.com. That's jomajstudios@gmail.com.